you mentioned the Manson tour. I definitely want to ask you about that. How receptive is the audience? Because I've seen Manson obviously, and I've seen other bands that have similar really hardcore following, like Slayer and whatnot. And you're either a hit or you're a big miss with those crowds. They don't tend to be giving really. How was the Manson tour, and how was the crowd to you?
I wasn't really worried about it at all, kind of stepping into this tour. I kind of knew that it would be our crowd. So seriously, like out of the gate, every show was sold out, thousands of people, and we had never seen a response like that before. Like, we've had like mosh pits and stuff, but like we had
Sure.
crowd surfers and people going nuts. And, like fans lining up outside of our bus, like, hey, Larissa, can I take a photo or whatever? And I had never experienced anything like that. And I was like, oh my God, like this is our fan base. Because we're a little goth, a little industrial, and I think people were just eating it up, and it was just so cool. And like I said, it's like really humbling, and we're just so flattered for to be have that kind of a welcoming response from everyone. And
Right
it was
on.
just like that the whole tour. It was every day was just seriously the best.
That's awesome. Well, let's dig into the record a little bit more here. Tell me a little bit about the song "Downfall," which is I love Downfall. I just love the single.
So the concept behind the song, I think it's relatable to a lot of people. Sometimes you encounter certain toxic individuals in your life that are maybe struggling with the issues and stuff that's out of your control, and you can try to save them as much as you want, but at the end of the day, they have to save themselves. But it just causes a lot of collateral damage along the way. And at some point you get to a place where you're like, this is just too much. I can't do it anymore. It's like if you're going down, then I'm going down too, because I just don't have the energy to fight anymore. So it's kind of along those lines.
Sure. And then another one that seems to be the by far the biggest song is "Broken." Obviously that I'm just I find it funny. I'm looking literally right now. I'm looking at YouTube Music, and you have almost a million plays on "Broken,"
Oh
and then
wow, I didn't even know.
yeah, you have like 757,000 plays on "Broken," and then all the rest of the songs are in like the thousands. Which just means that people are finding the single, not the album. Is that encouraging? Is that disturbing, or do you not even worry about that stuff?
I mean, obviously it's important to pay attention, but I'm not going to let that kind of inform, what direction I'm going in artistically. So, the record's just been out a couple weeks, but we
Sure.
launched Broken right before we went out on tour in 2023. And a lot of people like that song. I mean, I like that song too. So I just think it's great. I mean, I don't need people to like a specific song. If you even want to listen to any of them, that's awesome. Just like pick your favorite.
Right. No, I just always, and maybe it's just that I'm old, I mean, to be frank about it, but, I grew up in the era of you put on an album and you listen to all 15 tracks or whatever. That's just what you did. And it is so, I don't know, jarring to me when I look at numbers like this. It's like Broken has almost 800,000 plays. Void has almost 400,000 plays. But then a song like Decay, which I know, like you said, you just put the record out, but has
Yeah.
like under 100 plays. And it's like, how can this be? Go
Yeah,
ahead.
I'm kind of a music nerd too, so I feel you on that. I like to listen to full records as well, but like I said, people are free to consume it however they want, and I'm just grateful that people like it. So.